We're live.
Call to order, Town of St. John Board of Zoning Appeals for June 19th, 2023. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sergio, can we do a roll call, please?
Bob Burleson,
Here.
Yolanda Cardona, Drago Popovic,
Here.
Brandon Sheeran, and Mark LaRue.
Here.
Attorney Adam Decker.
Here.
Councilman Liaison Brian Blazak.
Present.
And Town Manager Joe Wizawati.
Present. Thank you. Has everyone had the opportunity to review the minutes from the May 15th meeting? And if so,
I'll have to,
entertain a motion.
I have to recuse myself. I wasn't here for the last
Okay,
one.
then we'll have to push, so we only got 2 people then, so we'll have to push that till next meeting, correct?
It would
So motion
require
to-
a vote of all 3, so you can defer the approval to the next meeting.
Okay, so a motion to defer approval of May 15th, 2023 Board of Zoning Appeal regular minutes. I have a motion.
Motion to defer May 15th, 2023 Board of Zoning Appeal regular meeting minutes.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll do that next month. Next on the agenda, 2023-07, special exception from St. John MC 24-342 in sequence to St. John MC 2445 to allow personal service use within the US 41 overlay district at 10033 Wicker Avenue, St. John, Indiana. Top nail. I apologize if I butchered your name, Tro Vaux and Paul DeBoer. Are they in the audience? Step up to the podium and identify yourself, please.
Yes. My name is Trong Vo.
I'm David Chen and partner.
You provide your address too, please. Your address, personal address, or where you?
I live in Crampon, 9465 Van Buren Court, Crampon, Indiana.
Thank you very much. Would you like to tell us about your project?
Yeah, we tried to open a new nail salon in St. John. Yeah, and yeah, so.
So you haven't learned nail salon in town, or you tried before at another location? I'm not understanding.
Oh, this is the first one.
This is your first one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Is there any other information you can provide for us? Other than, I guess, where the location of the, it's gonna be in the Ravenswood building, a business center, I should say.
How many customers are you expecting a day?
Oh, it's by La Quesadilla, okay.
Do you know?
Yes. We have about 20 pedicure chair and about 24 manicure table. So we expect about like 100 people
A day?
Yes, sir.
The question that comes in, is there gonna be enough parking spaces with all your business plus what's in there with the dialysis center and the restaurant down the way? Sergio, do we know how many parking spots are in this particular development? Does it say there? Without having to count them?
7, 8, 9, 10.
But the parking spaces were designed based on the square footage at the time of the site plan approval, based on retail square footage space.
Okay. I guess my only concern would be that if you have 100 customers a day, 8 hours a day, or 10 hours a day, just for easy math, you got 10 places you're gonna be taking up at any given time, right? Like, my math is correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So my concern is Is there going to be enough parking spaces to?
Shows that there are 93 parking spaces. 93 parking spaces, required is 92.
Okay.
Staff parking, maybe too.
Oh, yeah, then plus that, and you said you had 20 tables? Or
Yes.
20, I'm sorry, stations, right?
Yes.
So then you would then have 20 employees.
No, we think about like 10. We just put more table, but
Okay,
only like
gotcha.
about 10 people working, yeah.
So you still then got to account for 10 employees typically at any given time are going to be in the building, correct?
People they take turn to have the day up, so,
Okay.
yeah.
So on average, what would you say per day, employee-wise, would you have? I'm just trying to, more concerned about the parking. You're going to have your people there, which I think a lot of them park in the back of the building or something. And I'm not sure how much spaces there are back there. From my
Yes,
experience driving past that building, it seems like
it's-
everyone's stacked up in the back.
I'm sorry, but it's like the I say 100 customer. That's only like busy day like the weekend, not like
Not an everyday
not like
thing,
every day,
okay.
yeah.
The weekends, it's a mess anyway down there with all the traffic, so. That's the building there, okay.
What time of the day will you be operating? From what time to what time?
9:30 to 7.
9:30 to 7? Monday through Friday? Or Saturdays too?
Saturday to Sunday.
Sunday also?
Yeah, 7 days a week. Monday to Sunday.
Monday through Sunday?
Yeah. Sunday we close early. We start 11 to 4.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Yes,
Yeah,
You,
I'm
Mr.
Paul
DeBoer?
DeBoer, the building owner.
okay.
There's never been a problem with parking there in front. DeVita's no longer in there.
Oh, okay.
There's other spaces in there, but there's T-Mobile. He would be right next to T-Mobile.
Okay.
And there's never.
I can't remember the layout of who's where. I just know
Yeah.
The Mexican's on the very end,
He's
and
way
then
on the end,
and I think the
right.
pizza's on the other side of that, right? Other
Right.
end of that. So what's
Right.
in the middle? I have no clue.
Yeah, I never
So-
pay attention to it.
And what's like Ivy Rehab, they're more business hours, and so if he had more after hours,
Okay.
it kind of all balances out, and so we've never really had an issue with parking.
I don't recall there ever being any problems over there. I mean, that might pass by there again. I don't always look to see, but if you see a lot of cars, you'll take notice. Okay.
I never had an issue pulling in there
Yeah.
to park. There's always been,
You just go to the pizza place to pick up a pizza. So other than
Yeah.
that, I don't go in there.
yeah.
So, okay. Any other questions for our petitioners?
Personal service, what is it versus what for the special exception exactly?
Well, personal service being the nail salon. And we've got a number of nail salons already on 41, up and down 41. There's one down the street across from Alsip Nursery, right? And then I think there's another one down. I know this because I've got 3 women in my house. That's the reason I know where these nail salons are at. Not that
Sure.
I shop. Anyway, and there's a few in town, so there's more than one, and they would just be an additional one to that. You have a question regarding that, Drago?
And just in terms of what's allowed in this area and why the exception is needed.
This is personal use, right? I mean,
Yeah, if I may,
Please.
just briefly, Mr. Chairman, so in this zoning district this is the US Highway 41 overlay, personal services is designated with the zoning classification for special exception, which means that it's a use that may be permitted upon approval of the Board of Zoning Appeals, provided that it meets the criteria which are set forth in your packet as far as the findings that would be considered in doing so. Personal services are defined in the zoning ordinance to mean basically services directly to the consumer at the site of the business. This includes, but not limited to, shoe repair, watch repair, barbershops, beauty parlors, interior design studios, package mailing services, photography studios, tailors, pet grooming, self-service laundries and dry cleaners. So our zoning code requires that this type of use be considered by the Plan Commission for either a favorable recommendation or an unfavorable recommendation to the town council before it is authorized.
Thank you, Mr. Decker.
And if I may add,
Please.
the Board of Zoning Appeals can impose any number of conditions that it may warrant or find necessary, such as designating a specific use, not allowing other uses if that's what the Board of Zoning Appeals wishes to consider. But you can restrict or impose any number of conditions on any recommendation that you make.
Okay. So being a nail salon, we would just say it has to stay as a nail salon, or to,
That would be one consideration, if that's
Okay.
what the Board of Zoning Appeals thought appropriate
we don't
in
want
the
them to
circumstance.
all start doing massages or anything else that might go on like that. Okay, other personal item, or services that might fall into that category.
Are you planning on doing anything else besides nail
No, sir.
salon?
Any retail sales?
No, sir.
So you don't sell nail polish or any of that other
No.
buffing material, or whatever you use for all that stuff? No?
No, sir.
Just the,
We give out for free. No
Gotcha.
charge. No selling and stuff.
okay, thank you. Any other questions for the petitioners? Not, gentlemen, if you have a seat, we're gonna open it up for, there's anyone here that had, any remonstrances or anything on this? Sergio?
No, we have not received any.
We'll open it for public comment on this particular petitioner. Is anyone here that would like to say something regarding this? No? Okay, we'll close that. Gentlemen, if you step back up again to the podium. Do we have any other further questions for the petitioner regarding the nail salon? If not, if there's a motion you'd like to make, let's hear it.
I'd like to make a favorable recommendation for 2023-07, the special exception from STJMC 24-342 to allow the personal service nail salon within the overlay district.
Finding the facts.
Huh?
You're finding
Yeah,
the facts.
that the established maintenance or operation of the special exception will not be detrimental or endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare. That the special exception will not be injurious to the enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for purposes already permitted, nor substantially diminish and impair property value within the neighborhood. That the establishment of the special exception will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding property for uses permitted in the district. Adequate measures will be taken to provide ingress and egress so designated as to minimize traffic congestion in the public streets, and that adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and or necessary facilities will be provided. That adequate measure will in all other respects conform to the applicable regulations of the zoning district in which it is located, and that the special exception shall be required to comply with reasonable time limitations on the commencement and duration of special exception, as well as holder of rights to same.
Put a contingency on that?
Contingencies that it be for the purposes specifically
To a nail salon.
as a nail salon service.
Yeah, and if I may, that's a condition, not a contingency, but I think that was understood to be a condition for the recommendations.
Okay. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, 2023-08, developmental variance from SJMC 24-516E1 and St. John MC 24-520 to install a wrought iron fence that is less than 8 feet from the from the street right-of-way, encroaches into the vision clearance triangle at 11211 West 93rd Avenue, St. John. Evan Lava, I'm going to butcher your name, dude. Say it again?
Lavallee.
Lavalette. I was close. I was going to say that. Anyway, and Joe Wozanowski. I'm going to say your last name wrong, too.
No ski, just
Wizwowski. Wizwadi. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Couple of Griffith names for you.
There you go.
Nice Irish.
Southside Irish kid.
Yeah,
Can't
I was gonna say
can't
nice Irish
Polish
name.
names, so.
For
Tell
the
us
record,
about
my
your
name is
project.
Evan Lavalette. I work for First Group Engineering. The town hired us to design the 93rd project. We're here today to seek the variance on the fence that we are installing for the project. The need for the fence is due to the drop-off from the sidewalk down into the parking lot. Specifically on 93rd, we'll have about a 4-inch to a foot drop, depending on where you're at on that sidewalk along the parking lot on the north side of it. On the east side, we're going to clean up while it is maintainable and mowable, we are going to clean up the east side of the parking lot as well, install a curb, chair back, throw a fence in there. That'll allow us to raise the grade of the grass a little bit, and it should even things out a little bit. And we're here today to seek the variance from the 8 foot from the right-of-way, as we are in the public right-of-way with this fence. We're in the vision triangle. We're providing 50% clear, as you can see in some of the diagrams we have presented for you tonight.
Sir, as you go back down to that one, where it showed the corner picture. Yeah, okay, so you've got the light blue, then the darker purple, whatever that is, and then the orange. Are we going down to all the way down to that, to
Yes.
the,
So what you have there is...
Adoration Chapel?
Yes. So what you have there, the 3 different colored lines represent the 3 different versions of the fence. That's what the fence is going to go on. So the fence will be the same fence the whole way. However, will be on various things. So the light blue line, you'll have the fence on a return curb. So we'll pour 6 inches on the sidewalk, put the fence on top of that one. On the east side, the purple line, we're going to put a curb and gutter to match inside the church's parking lot. They have a curb and gutter in there. We're going to match. It's really close to a 2-foot curb and gutter. We're going to match that about 6 inch back. And then as we get into the orange section, we're not going to run curb through the existing grass. We're just going to move to foundations. 2-foot diameter, 42 inches deep.
Okay. Thank you. So with the vision, how tall is it going to be at the corner of 93rd and 41? If you're looking, trying to make that right-hand turn with the vision triangle, it's all going to be open, but I mean, spacing between
It'll be,
each post or each, I guess.
it's going to be 42 high.
42 high,
Yeah.
okay.
I believe the dimensions for the spacing is included in that.
Yeah, I see 4, I'm sorry, I didn't see that. I was looking over on the other side of the thing, didn't see it. Okay. And then spacing in between
I think it's on there.
is 1 inch, 1 inch. Doesn't say. Looks like the fence I have at my house.
Yeah, I don't see it labeled either.
Okay.
We might be able to guesstimate. 1,
Yeah, I
2.
would say it probably represents the true.
72 in that section, and you got 1, 2, 3,
15, 72 by 15.
4 inches or so. 4.5. I can provide that.
I'm just,
Almost 5 inches.
okay. I mean, you're going to be able to see through there, so that's, from my point of view, it shouldn't disrupt that triangle in my mind. Any questions for Evan? I'm just going to say Evan. It's easier for me.
I mean, you don't need the fence to raise that grade up, though.
The fence is being provided as a safety barrier so no one slips off the backside of that sidewalk.
I see. Into the parking, existing
lot.
parking?
Yep.
How much of a drop-off is it as you go toward 41? How much is that drop-off? Because I know
It varies anywhere from 4 inches to a foot.
Yeah, I know it was pretty
It's
significant.
it's not uniform, 4 inches to a foot. It varies where you're at in that parking lot.
Yeah.
I know it's a bit of a thing, so you're gonna put that along that sidewalk, or it's gonna be, how far off the sidewalk?
Right.
We'll have a 6 foot, we'll have
Okay.
a 6 foot sidewalk on the back of curb, and then we'll pour about a 4 to 6 inch curb on that 6 foot sidewalk.
Okay.
So you'll have a clear 6 foot sidewalk through there.
Okay. Then there's quite a drop off on that backside of that parking lot, or from the street to the
And
parking lot.
here's this side here. Be on top of the curb.
Yeah, because this is the side that really drops down, like around here.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions for Evan? Yeah. And we'll get to you in a moment. From the board, is there any questions from the board for Evan? If not, Evan, you have a seat for a minute, and we'll open up for public comment. If anyone has a comment regarding this petitioner, please come up to the podium, identify yourself and your address.
Who is paying for this?
First, ma'am, come up to the podium and identify yourself, please.
I'm Joan Parducci. I live on the corner of 93rd and
Mrs.
Patterson.
Perducci. I know your house. I've never met you, but hello.
I mean, I don't understand how you can do this when it encroaches on the vision of the people who are turning on that corner. That corner is so busy, and fortunately, we have not had many fatal accidents there. And why are we now putting a fence there when for 50 years there hasn't been anything there? And then you're not going to be able to see. I live across the street. I don't see anybody putting up making my side better. They're talking, they've taken half of my front yard already. But yet they're going to allow him to do that?
This is a town project, ma'am. This is not a private entity. It's just part of the project for the 93rd 41 intersection there.
I know, but if it impedes what people can see, then why are we even considering doing it?
Well, that's what that's what we're here talking about it. is
Right.
that because there is a fence there in the vision triangle. It's going to have some effect perhaps on it, but given that it's an open style fence, is lending itself to that you'd be able to see through the fence and look to see what's down the road.
It's still
Again, you're making a right-hand turn, so you're looking back towards the north. You're not looking towards the south. This is all on the south side of the street across from your home, as you know.
Right, I know where it is, right.
So, I mean, from the standpoint of
But if
making
you're
that
still
turn.
if you're gonna turn going south,
Yes, ma'am.
it can still impede how you're doing it.
We're taking up for this, where we're here to discuss it.
I unfortunately, most people aren't gonna say anything until something bad happens. And then it's too
We've got two
late.
gentlemen here that are part of the project, and perhaps they can address any of your concerns. Unfortunately, I'm not up to speed as far as, other things, other options, but if it adds safety to that area, that's what I'm looking at. And as far as the vision around that corner, that's where we're having a discussion tonight,
Okay.
okay?
But I mean, I just don't understand, how they can even consider it if it impedes the vision. We just took the White House down,
Yes.
and that was there forever. And that impeded whenever and now it's clear, so you can see. And now they're gonna put some fence up? Even a 4-foot fence is still, your car door in littler cars, bigger cars, it's still gonna impede people's vision. So that's how I feel about it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Is there anyone else that has a comment regarding this particular project or petitioner? If not, we'll close the public comment. Evan, if you'd step back up to the podium.
My question would be, Evan, is how far would the asphalt, the church parking lot have to be cut back in order to raise that parking lot somewhat close to the to the elevation of the sidewalk where it isn't, you know, a potential of rolling off or someone stepping
Yeah.
off and.
Well, and to your point, Bob, you're, in order for that to happen, obviously, that the church would be losing use of that parking lot. So we would end up probably having to compensate them for the loss of use.
Okay.
So that was one of the things we did consider. The other thing, the church did, you know, we did go through this with the church, you know, leadership there. They thought this was probably the best solution. You know, they weren't thrilled with the situation, but, you know, and they certainly weren't thrilled with the first proposal in terms of fence. But this was a compromise solution, which allows the most visibility. It's not a solid fence. It's not like a vinyl fence or something horrendous that's going to, you know, look awful and be graffitied or something like that. So
Yeah.
this was a very good compromise, I thought, when we did discuss it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just thinking of options.
Yeah, that would, I mean, for it to still be considered usable parking, you wouldn't be able to, you know, a 3-to-1's not gonna be anything good for a car in such a short distance. A lot of the right-of-way take, we were trying to minimize the take from the church. That has a lot to do with why there is a 4-inch to 1-foot drop between the sidewalk and the parking lot. And if I can make a comment on the right-hand turns there, it is for the southbound movement. There is going to be a dedicated right turn lane there, so it'll only be right turn movements, making that having to look through the fence. It should be clear, as we've seen the spacing on the diagram. So I don't anticipate it becoming a true blockage of anybody's vision, being able to look to the right, whereas, as it was pointed out, we mostly will be looking to the left, making sure traffic is clear.
Yeah, if you were eastbound and you're gonna turn south, you'd be looking straight ahead or to your left, so no one from north going south would run into you.
It's
So
cut
you don't
back a
really, you
little
don't
bit
really
from
have
the
to look
corner.
right.
It's cut back from the corner a little bit, you know, so, and we show some of the proposed line for the sidewalk where we're tying in. So you're gonna have, if you pull all the way up to the stop bar, if you're at the stop bar, you might even not truly be looking through the fence. It's gonna be more of on the approach as you come to the intersection.
Yeah.
Right.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
We
sir.
did receive a letter from Joan Paducci that I can read into the record.
Okay.
So we did receive this letter this afternoon or this morning. It reads, "I feel we should not grant the variance on 93rd Avenue. It is a very busy intersection and there should not be anything to impede the view of the whole intersection. It is very important to make things safe for everyone." Joan Paducci.
You know, Evan, how high of a wall you'd have to put, a concrete wall, to just say to pedestrians that, you know, don't step over.
Yeah, that,
know.
I mean, you'd almost have, I
You know,
think
would-
safety is 3.5 foot, so a concrete would, that's gonna be 100%. You can't see
100%.
through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fence keeps the pedestrians on the sidewalk, keeps them from stepping it off. That is the purpose of that. And then the version of with the curbs is the cheaper option instead of running retaining walls and modular block walls. So with the curb and the fence in this combination is the most beneficial to the town in regards to cost. Safety is our number one concern there, so that is why we need the fence. It was, as Joe mentioned, we discussed many meetings with the church. This was the option that we fell on instead of trying to grade out the parking lot or something along those nature.
Okay. Any other questions for Evan? If not, we can entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve 2023-08 development variance from STJMC 24-516 and STJMC 24-520 to install a wrought iron fence. And findings of facts, yes. Number one, approval will not be injurious to public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare of the community. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantial adverse manner. And number three, that the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you, board.
Next on the agenda is 2023-09, developmental variance from St. John MC 24-96B to construct a detached garage at 12012 Wildwood Drive, St. John, Indiana. Kathy Joy. Hi, Kathy.
Hi. I'm Kathy Joy from 12012 Wildwood Drive, looking to tear down my garage and build a new one. This is my builder. I'm Eamon Barak. I'm sorry.
Hi. My name is Eamon Barakat from the Indiana Garage Guys. She's got a dilapidated garage that we're going to take down, hopefully, and replace it with a two-car garage. We're basically putting it in the same position. We're going to take a little bit closer into the house. She has it paved right now, so the pavement's going to come up, and the garage will occupy that pavement. Other than that, everything else is in with the code. We're just building a detached garage.
Okay. I guess the question I have is why did they have to come here, Sergio? What's the, I mean, she's taking the garage down, she's not adding any extra space.
It's a 1.5 car garage now. We're going to a 2-car.
Yeah, I used to live behind her, so I know her house very well.
Okay.
The reason why they're here is because ordinance 24-516E1, I'm sorry, 24-96B requires that any detached garage receive a variance.
Okay, thank you.
That's why they're here.
Okay. I think this is a good idea for you, so.
And thank you for replacing it.
Oh, I know. I haven't had a car, I haven't had my car in a garage in 30 years. It's very old, one-car garage.
I'm glad your car's lasted 30 years.
She didn't say this one car, Joe.
Oh, okay.
She just said, hasn't parked a car in
I
there.
haven't parked a car in a garage.
Mine's going on 30 years.
Oh, gosh. As far as the aesthetics of the building itself is going to match the house?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it's a lovely neighborhood back there. I used to live there, 20 years ago. When Kathy and her husband, Mike, first moved in there, so. I didn't know it was that bad a condition, quite. I don't usually look at your garage when I go by by your street,
Seen
so.
better days.
Yeah, okay. I take your word for it.
Oh, my, yeah.
Any questions for the petitioner?
I have none.
Any remonstrances regarding this petitioner? Sergio?
No, we did not receive anything.
Okay. Have a seat for just a second. We're going to open up for public comment, if anyone's here for that. Is anyone here regarding the petition for a new garage, detached garage on Wildwood? Nope. Close public comment. If there's no other questions for the petitioners, I would enjoy hearing a motion.
Motion to approve 2023-09 development variance from STJMC 24-96B to construct a detached garage. And findings of facts, number one, approval will not be injurious to public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare of the community. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantial adverse manner. And number 3, that the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in a practical difficulties in the use of the property.
The one thing I didn't ask, and I guess we can make as a contingency, height-wise, we're not making any higher, taller, bigger than the house? It's not gonna,
No, I believe we're about 13 feet tall.
okay.
13.6.
Oh, didn't see that, okay. All right, very good. We have a motion, do we have a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Have a good
Good luck
evening.
with your project, Kathy.
Thank you so much.
Next on the agenda, 2023-10 developmental variance, St. John MC 24-461 to construct a 192 square foot storage shed, which is 32 square feet larger than what is permitted at 14217 West 89th Place, St. John. Thomas Frazier, applicant and owner. Just identify yourself and all the other fun stuff, your address again. I mean, we just said it, but say it again for us.
Tom Frazier, 14217 89th Place.
Thank you. So tell us about your project.
I put up a shed. I wanted to get room, put all the lawn equipment in there, and in the wintertime, put all the lawn furniture inside. So I made it 12 by 16, so it's a couple feet deeper than
What's allowed, yeah.
which is about 32 square feet.
Yeah.
You know, it's not huge, and it mimics the house.
As far as the siding and the color and everything
Yes.
else, it'll, okay.
That's the picture of what it's gonna look like.
Yes.
Any questions for the Fraziers? No? Have a seat for just a quick second.
Okay.
Have we received any remonstrances regarding this petitioner?
We have not.
Okay. Is there anyone here open for public comment? Does anyone here have a comment regarding the request from, on this particular petitioner?
The only comment is it is currently up. It's not what it's going to. That is that exact.
Okay, thank you. Where does that fall when it's already been put up, Sergio?
That's why they're here for the variance.
So they've already built it in,
If the variance gets denied, they'll have to remove 32 square feet of it to be into compliance.
okay. Well, that would be silly. Okay, if you'd like to step, okay, sir, come on up. Identify yourself and your address, please.
John Hetling, 14181 West 89th. I'm 2 doors down from Mr. Frazier. I've seen the shed, from my backyard to his. It doesn't look like an overly large, obnoxious shed. It looks like a nice shed, so I would be in support of the variance.
Thank you, sir, appreciate it. Does anyone else have a comment regarding the petitioner's request? And we'll close public comment. Mr. Frazier, would you step up to the podium again for us? Any other questions for the Fraziers? Or if you would like to make a motion?
I just a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Out of curiosity. You know what? Never mind. I'll ask that later.
Why wasn't a permit pulled, I guess?
Stupidity.
Is it on a foundation? Is it on a foundation?
It's on a slab.
Slab.
It's on a concrete slab.
Sergio, have we had an inspector out to view this yet?
A permit has not been issued. Once the grant approval, they would be required to issue a after-the-fact permit. So we have not issued a permit because it's not been approved. So once it gets approved, we'll issue an after-the-fact permit.
Okay.
How thick is the concrete slab?
5 inches.
You have what's on the subgrade, the base of the,
4 inches of stone, CA7.
So it's not going anywhere.
yeah, use a treated sill plate or bottom
Yes.
plate on that?
Mhm.
And then lag bolts, anchor
Correct.
bolts to the. What's the height of that? That doesn't look like it's overly,
I think I have it on
is
there.
that on there?
I don't see it.
I have it. Let me see, they wrote it on the survey.
12, 13 feet maybe? If it's even that, or maybe 10.
Yeah, you're probably right about 10.
I'm just looking at that ladder there. It looks like about a 7-foot ladder.
So did anyone call on you, your neighbor, or
No,
how'd you get to this, to be here?
Code enforcement drove by and seen it, I guess.
Seen it, okay.
How tall is that ladder that's next to the shed there?
And
I guess it to be a 7 to 8 foot.
I was thinking 8-footer.
I have
This
quite a
touches
few
the-
neighbors that wanted to come here, but I told them not to, so.
Oh, to
Always
sup-
welcome to come and make a comment, support you, so never turn someone away for that.
I didn't want to inconvenience
I
them.
understand, sir. Understand.
Yeah, it's probably 12 feet high at the ridge.
I would say
guessing.
so.
Yeah, it's 12.
12. It's a 12?
Yeah.
Okay. So my first guess was right.
It's got a 12 pitch roof, so.
Okay. Any other questions?
Has it got electrical?
No.
Looks really nice, I'm just saying.
I'll make a motion if,
Okay,
any
please.
other questions?
I don't.
Who gets to clean the windows?
I'm gonna invite you over, Brian.
Wrong.
I just didn't want to get one of those average sheds that end up looking like a banana on the roof, you know.
We appreciate that. I'm sure your neighbors probably will as well.
It's a nice looking building.
I'll make a motion for 2023-09 development variance from St. John Municipal Code 24-96B to construct a detached, 24-461 to construct 100, that's 2023-10 development variance, my apologies. St. John Municipal Code 24-461 to construct a 192 square foot shed. And that approval will not be injurious to public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare of the community. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property include the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner, that the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations. Good luck with the rest of your project, sir. Next on the agenda, new old business, which we don't have any for public comment, though. We have I want to welcome a new intern that we have here at Town Hall, or within your office, I guess, Sergio?
Yes,
right?
thank you, Chairman. We'd like to introduce to the board Maisie Westerfield, next to Jenna. Maisie is here for an internship this summer. She wanted to look for a intern that dealt with community development and planning. She is a junior. She just finished her junior year at IU Bloomington and in the SPIA program. And so she asked if there was an opportunity here. She's a local resident, and so we found an opportunity for her to do a job here within the Building and Planning Office. She's become a big fan of Attorney Adam Decker, She loves your emails. She's digesting your emails and then creating cliff notes for the staff and the
And write
residents
some long emails.
to help them understand the legal opinion on why some of these ordinances are being acted on the way they are. So she has an interest in law and community development, so we thought this would be a good project for her. And so, yep, so she'll be with us to about mid-August.
Okay. Welcome,
So-
Macy.
So throw her in the deep. My intern last year, I did that to him, to Rob, and he appreciated it.
Yeah, no, I'm
Throw 'em in.
a big believer. The
Yep.
interns, previous interns I've had have gone on to have very successful careers. I believe in. You're not here to staple papers. You're gonna get a real world experience.
Right.
So.
And the nice thing is we'll have a working product
Yes.
after she's all done.
Yeah.
With the internship that will continue on for, hopefully many years. And we've got all that knowledge we paid for, in Cliff Notes, so. Yeah.
So you're the first we've had then, is that right? First?
Yeah.
Congratulations, you're setting
Yeah.
the trend here. Or you're setting the bar, I guess is probably the better word to use. Well, welcome. Other than that, we can open up for public comment. If someone has it's still here, would like to make a comment regarding anything?
I do have a question for the board.
Please step up to the podium, sir, identify yourself.
Hi, my name's Alvin Cockram. I live at 10317 Joliet Street.
Okay.
June 9th, we had a fire at my garage. I talked to Joe about fire hydrants because according to my neighbors, it took them excessive amount of time to open them, to get fire to the building that was on fire.
I think you're at the wrong meeting though, right? I mean, that would be more safety.
Town council meeting or the safety.
Or safety.
meeting. Safety meeting would have been at 6 o'clock.
I'm just wondering, when are fire hydrants maintained?
That's above our purview, sir. That's
Well,
not.
actually, you might want to come back tomorrow because the water board meets.
Yeah, I'm gonna say water board.
That would be a good.
Again? Come on, Joe. What's up? I thought you would have some answers, but you had that gas leak on,
Yeah.
when I came to talk to you. So I just wanted to bring it up to the board that it needs to be addressed. These hydrants
That's
need
really
to
not-
be.
That's not something that we would look at this board though, sir.
All right, well, I thank you, gentlemen.
Did your garage burn down?
Pardon me?
Did your garage burn down?
80% of it.
80%.
My
I'm s-
neighbors
I'm
went to
sorry
the
to hear
ground.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, it was not a pretty thing. And like I said, I've been there 20 years, never seen a fire hydrant opened or maintained in 20 years I've lived there.
I
So-
live on Joliet Street also, and not to pound the glory signs, but the Teal Cabinet Shop caught on fire and they put it out quick.
Like I said,
So,
I know after talking with my neighbors across the street, they watched the young lady that was on the fire department for anywhere from 7 to 9 minutes fight with the valve on the fire hydrant. Not acceptable.
We don't disagree with you.
So.
But unfortunately, we're the wrong sounding board for that.
Right.
so.
I know things happen and you're very distraught when something like that happens.
Yeah,
But that sounds like a long time to me to get a fire hydrant opened. I spoke with Joe about it and I appreciate your gentlemen's.
And just so you know, water board meeting is tomorrow at 5. So if you do want to come and talk
I'm
about
going canoeing tomorrow. Screw that. Gentlemen, have a
Priorities.
very good evening.
Thank
Yeah,
you, sir.
thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. We'll talk to you later, too.
All right.
Any other comments? If not, this meeting is adjourned.
that's a bummer.
Yeah, it was.